All right, welcome back. So in the last one, we created some laser prefab, so lasers for our player to shoot. And then today, what we're going to do is we need to actually control that rate of fire. So we're going to set some cooldowns within our script and the player script, so that way we can control how fast um, the player, when they're interacting with their game, can shoot. Because right now they can shoot infinitely as fast as they can press the button, and that's great and all, but that's obviously going to change the difficulty. We want to be able to control that aspect, so we control the gaming experience for the players in the game. So let's show you what I'm talking about right now. Is as fast as we can go. So if I go in here and I press it like as fast as I can do it, there's no control. So we need to do that. Also, one thing I did in between, I didn't make a video, but you'll notice that the prefab fires a little bit in front of the player instead of in the center. That way, whenever I choose a ship or anything, this is going to be pretty much where the laser is. So I can show you that as well. So in the script, you'll see that how I did that is on the transform position. All I really did was add a new vector, and on the Y, I changed it to a 1. That way, it's now 1 meter in front of the center of the player and their location. So there's that. And for the rate of fire, so we're going to have to do a couple things. We are going to need to make an adjustment to our get key down input, and we're going to use what's it called? A double and logic operator. So we need to do that. We're going to add it to the end, and what that's going to do is if this is working, then it will look at that. So it's not going to do both. So if there's no key down, it's not going to check the second line of code. But before we can do that, we need to make a float for um, we need to make a float for the can fire. So if they can fire, so we can go ahead and do that. All right, now before we can actually add or we can modify our get key down, we need to actually add the variables that we're going to use for this. So we're going to add a fire rate, and then we're going to add a can fire. So they're both going to be private. I only want to be able to adjust one of them, and that's going to be the fire rate. So that one's going to be a serialized field, private float. What are we going to say? We're going to call this the fire rate. So again, it's private, so it's going to have the underscore fire rate. And then we're going to have this equal to, I'm going to do 0.2. I feel like half a second is just too slow. But we can, again, we have serialized field. It means we have the ability to modify it. And then we're going to do another private field, but this time I don't need to adjust it um, with inside the inspector. I'm just going to do it here for once. And this is going to be can fire. So this is going to be the variable that's going to let our uh, our code kind of double check itself as it's looping to make sure that it's able to do it. So I'm going to make this a negative 1f. And I did it a float because that way I could adjust it later if I need to. So let's go down. We did that. Now let's go down and go into the if input where we're going to do the modification. So we're going to do the double and logic operator here. So we're going to space in between the parentheses, double ands. And then we're going to do time, which is referencing the time from when the game started, and we want this to be greater than can fire, which it was underscore can fire. And then we need now to tell the system what it's going to do within this if statement. So now we need to create something else within this statement. So we'll put it above our instantiate. So this is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be can fire is equal to, see, it's already doing the time.time, so we'll do that time.time, but it's going to be plus the fire rate. And then that should be it. There we go. Control S. Let's go back to the game. See, now I am no longer able to shoot infinitely. So, and that has worked appropriately. Now, again, I made the fire rate adjustable or serialized, so it's public, but serialized, so I'm able to adjust it. So if I wanted to change this to a point 0.5, we can adjust it there. But that's too slow. I think that's too slow, so I'm gonna keep it at 0.2. Because I think point 0.2 was good. Now, what I didn't do, I didn't make it the serialized field for the can fire. So that means if I ever wanted to change that, I would have to go into the script to actually make those adjustments. But that's not something I'm going to need to do because I'm pretty much telling the game that, hey, you're going to check, at this, it's -1, so it's negative of the time before it. So we're good there. So that was what I needed to do, and it all worked appropriately. One thing I keep forgetting to do at the end of the videos, I mean, I'm doing it, but I keep forgetting to doing it at the end of videos, is actually um, committing our code to our repository. So you can see here, I have already pulled it. I'm working on the current thing, the most updated. So I'm going to do git status, no capital, and you can see that there's stuff to be added. So git add space with the period, that's going to add everything. Git commit dash m, and then our actual comment. So what did we do? We did something with the laser. We offset laser, uh, and we and set rate of fire. Close parentheses. We're gonna hit enter. Now we do git push origin main, and then that's all done. Now everything's within our repository, and that should all be good to go. So I keep forgetting to do that at the end of the videos, and after I'm like, oh man, I should have done that. So cool. That's pretty much everything that I'm going to do today. Short video, just a simple topic, but it's key. Any game that has any type of firing mechanism uses it because um, like with Call of Duty and everything, you don't want the player to be able to shoot as fast as they can because then they can mod it with like controllers and stuff that just do this stuff automatically. And then we want to be able to control the user's experience on how fast they can fire because that directly is going to relate to the difficulty of the game, and we want to be able to have control of that so that way we can control the player's experience while playing our game. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it. I do also put blogs on medium.com. I will go ahead and put a link to those in this video. That way you can always go and look at the blog, and I put my code there as I'm editing it with the examples, and I kind of write little stories about what I'm doing. So there's a lot more there than there is in this videos as far as exactly what I'm doing. So feel free to look there. Thanks again for coming. Liking the video would be very helpful. You want to subscribe if you want to keep following along, it'd be great as well. But either way, thank you for coming, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.